I'm with Rohanie Bacchus, and we're discussing the potential impact of MAGLEV on Greenbelt East. Now, what are neighbors saying about this train?
Well, the thing is, they don't know. They're asking me. I had a community event, and I have a community picnic and appreciation day, and I have all these residents asking me, what is this MAGLEV? And when are we going to have a meeting? We want to talk about it. We don't know anything about it. I'm saying, you don't know? I walk around asking people what do they think about the MAGLEV. They're saying, what is MAGLEV? Who is MAGLEV? What is that all about?
So this thing, this big monster thing, is kind of sneaking in. It's like a stealth project. And
Right.
I have to wonder if the people who are like managing this are on purpose extending the timeline so that people just forget. And then suddenly you're going to wake up and your house is shaken.
Right. I think that's the thing. 2027, I don't think it's going to be built in 2027. I think it will be sooner than that if this goes through. I think the pricing, the depth of the ground, I think all that is going to change. I think it's just putting it out on paper so it looks good to people who are looking at this and reading this. I think they're just making it look pleasant and pleasable. Henley, for one, when he comes to his meeting, he just smooths everything, and he's getting better and better at it. So this time, I think we're going to be prepared for him.
I have to wonder if there is another way to get at the powerful forces that are behind this. Because you know the governor's behind it. There's a lot of money behind this. Somebody's going to make a lot of money just selling concrete for this thing. How do you stop the wealthy people from just shoving this down your throat?
Well, our leaders, our state legislative leaders, I think writing letters to them, I think just constantly opposing it and just showing our presence, that's all we can do. We really can't do much but show that we are opposing this.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the ways that what are some of the really worst things that could happen if this comes through?
People will move. A lot of residents will move out. Some say, oh, it's 2027, I'm not going to be here, I'm going to die, I'm not going to be here. And says, well, what if it's here in 5 years, 5 to 7 years? What would you do? Oh, I'll move. So definitely.
And then what? And then you're going to move from a property that's probably lost its value.
That's right. So if they're going to move, they're probably going to move earlier rather than waiting for the property to go down. I personally, if I know this is coming 5 to 10 years, I will sell my house in the next 2 years. I will not wait. And I will recommend residents do the same thing. I tell people now, well, don't be shocked if it's coming in the next 10 years instead of 27 years. It might be sooner than that. And they said, well, we're going to move. So that's what I'm getting from residents.
And that could turn Greenbelt East into a ghost town,
right.
Or worse.
That's
some
right.
in the middle thing that won't die, right? But it's just...
That's right. Look at, upstate New York, Schenectady used to have General Electric there. Well, it used to be Schenectady then. That's a dumping ground right now. It's abandoned. Like many other cities in the Midwest, where Ford Motor Company, a lot of these cities are dumping ground. We don't want to be a dumping ground, but our local leaders, our officials, and our state legislative leaders need to see that PG County will be a dumping ground if this train comes by PG County.
So really, I guess the only thing I can say is that we do have to keep the pressure on. We do have to keep this issue in front of the entire public, because otherwise it's just going to come in and just be a big, horrible surprise.
It will be a surprise, and what I can say is that residents need to know who they're voting for and what they're voting for. When you vote for a person, it's not just a person, you're voting for your life. You're voting for them making decisions on your livelihood.
Thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.